This is WFYI News Now. It's January 7th, and I'm Abriana Herron. On today's show, an update on the weather ahead this week after central Indiana was hit by a major winter storm on Sunday. And Indiana Republican lawmakers have introduced a bill that would dissolve the state's largest public school district, Indianapolis Public Schools.
It's very difficult for us to wrap our heads around why it is that all of a sudden our state legislature would be pushing to take away a choice from parents.
Those stories coming up. But first, as people bunkered down for the winter storm this weekend, some were unhoused and vulnerable to the bitter cold, snow, and wind. WFYI Samantha Horton reports local outreach teams in Indianapolis stretched to get them what they need.
The National Weather Service issued a winter storm warning from Sunday through today with snow and below freezing temperatures. As the winter storm continues, in Indianapolis, Horizon House Street Outreach Manager Nikki Watson keeps up to date on weather conditions with emergency alerts, which help the outreach team serve people experiencing homelessness.
You know, if you're not able or willing to go into shelter, or if it's not accessible, if you have a whole family, then, you know, what is it that you're going to need to stay okay, right?
Watson says the outreach team's scope isn't medical, but they do keep an eye out for things such as frostbite. The team also hands out essentials, including blankets and food, most of which are donated. I'm Samantha Horton.
And more news around the winter storm. As of Monday morning, certain areas in central Indiana reached over 9 inches of snow, marking the largest snowfall in Indianapolis in one day since February of 2022. While there's a low chance of additional snow later in the week, National Weather Service Indianapolis senior meteorologist Mike Ryan says bitterly cold temperatures will become the focus.
Right now, there is confidence that we will see multiple nights with lows near zero, if not below zero, and also below zero wind chills.
That cold weather and wind will also mean it will take longer for roads to completely clear. Steve Quick, president of the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, Local 725, says it might take crews a few passes to completely clear roads.
It's going to be a few days after the snow stops before you probably can see some really progress on the road.
Quick asks drivers to be patient and to give space to those working to clear roads. The winter storm warning expired at 7 p.m. on Monday. Check your local school's website to find out about delays or closings. And for our final story today, Indiana Republican lawmakers have introduced a bill that would dissolve the state's largest public school district, Indianapolis Public Schools. From WFYI's Education Desk, Rachel Fredette reports on the bill that seeks to close 4 other school districts.
House Bill 1136 states that if more than 50% of students who live in a district are not enrolled in schools operated by the district, then the district must be dissolved. Each of the 5 school districts' elected school boards would cease operations along with the schools, and the district schools must transition to charter schools by July 2028. The bill would convert more than 50 schools in the Indianapolis Public Schools district into charter schools. Jennifer Smith-Margraf is vice president of the state's largest teachers union. She says this bill would take away parental choice.
It's very difficult for us to wrap our heads around why it is that all of a sudden our state legislature would be pushing to take away a choice from parents.
The bill also targets the Gary, Tri-Township, Union, and Cannleton City school districts. I'm Rachel Fredette.
The legislative session kicks off on Wednesday. And that's all for today's episode of WFYI News Now. Our podcast is produced by Drew Daudelin and Zach Bundy, with support from the news team at WFYI and public media journalists across the state. Our news director is Sarah Neal-Estes. Kendall Antron produced our music, and I'm your host, Abriana Herron. If you liked today's episode, remember to subscribe and share, and follow WFYI on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube to check in on our newsroom throughout the day. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow.